His fury knows no bounds. That is the Force Commander here of Floor for the Space Marines. He's going to be facing off against Funnyman2U and his Lord Commissar. Probably the only guy, the other humanoid, that can go toe-to-toe with Space Marines in melee combat. This guy's a beast. Very handy to have if you find the Space Marines, mostly due to that power sword upgrade in tier 1. Is Funnyman2U going triple Guardsman? What on earth? This is extremely unusual. You would think this is in the rework build for IG. There was a test build recently, just an initial one. It's definitely not finalized. There's going to be multiple iterations, I imagine, in which the Sentinel will be removed from tier 1 for the Imperial Guard. I mean, oh god, I could do a whole video ranting on about the design problems of Imperial Guard under Relic, basically. And the Elite Mod has been running with that because the Elite Mod never wanted to stray too far from the original vanilla game, but I feel like we've had enough scope now. We've got Ordo Malleus to a reasonable design position. It makes sense to try and rework IG and get rid of a lot of their most obnoxious tools, such as the Sentinel pressure in tier 1, which you kind of just have to grit your teeth and withstand, because you're never going to be able to kill a Sentinel of a competent player in tier 1, really. Spotters, which counter setup teams with basically no counterplay whatsoever. And Cadishans, which just 1v1 everything. It's not that IG are OP, they're not, and there are ways around it, but they're just generally very unfun to fight against. And so there is an attempt to rework them. So if you want to have your say in regards to that, please join the community Discord and comment on it. I'm sure there will be additional test builds on the way in relation to this. And I might even get a bit of gameplay of it on the YouTube channel as well, because it is going to be one of the most important changes for the mod, to be honest. To rework one of the fundamental races in the game is very, very important. But Guardsmen are very lucky to get out alive there, picked up their flamers early, got at least one gen, maybe two, I'm not even sure, I was too busy rambling. Guardsmen here only having 6 models, going to get the decap and retreat, I'm sure. Unfortunately losing one of their models. Oh, they're staying in the action, wow, I'm surprised. They definitely don't want to be tangoing with tactical Space Marines. Oh, there's a Lord Commissar here to help them out, I suppose. That's why they've stayed in the action. But without this Sarge, they're not really great competence. At least you've got the Sarge over here on this Guardsman squad. Should be able to deal with these scouts. Honestly, a bit surprised the scouts of Floor went back in that direction where they knew the upgraded Sergeant Guardsmen were. He must have known that he wouldn't be able to take them on 1v1. Well, he's gone for the upgrade on the Sarge, but misses his grenade, and really that's not really very helpful at all. He's still going to trade quite poorly against Guardsmen. Totally just pressed the wrong button there. I was trying to mute so I could cough, and I pressed the Windows hotkey. That was odd. Oh, looks like the Guardsman got caught out there with the scouts in heavy cover. The Guardsman out in the open, now getting beaten up by scout karate kicks. But generally I think this is an okay fight for the Guardsmen, because the rear ones often shoot their last guns and they just outnumber the scouts, but let's see. No, they're losing. Guardsmen getting wrecked. Wow, that was quite fortunate that he had already retreated with those Guardsmen. I think if he got the knockback there from the shotgun blast and a little bit of spike damage, there would have been a few more Guardsmen lost. Don't think it would have been a wipe, so I guess it's not that big of a deal, but always helps when you can bleed the IG. Asfisarama coming out for Flow. He's gone for a Devastator squad. The Devastators can rotate and deal with these Guardsmen flanking. Oh, he just got out of the Arc of Fire. Very cheeky. Flame is actually doing some pretty nice damage against the Devastators there, a lot better than any last guns would do. But yeah, attacks are there to save the day. Guardsman got to get out of there. Is Funnyman2U just going for a fast tech? He must be, right? Probably going to node this. No flamer on the tax means they won't be able to destroy these power nodes very quickly. Without the flamer, Space Marines are not very good against power nodes. I guess the shotguns can be okay, but he's only got one of them. So it has to be Chimera, because it's gone such a really fast tier 2. It's kind of crazy that Funnyman2U here has gone for the Fast tier 2, yeah, he's still up 100 VPs, even without a lot of the high pressure units from tier 1 that IG gets. The power sword upgrade and the commissar, and of course the sentinel. I don't really understand fully upgrading scouts against triple guardsmen. That doesn't really make any sense to me. And I also don't understand engaging with the scouts out of infiltration here when he could have just took the green cover from here and then engaged them. Firstly, he would have had green cover. Secondly, these guys wouldn't have been able to shoot whilst capping like they did just then. So, weird. Very strange choices there from Flo. Needs to redirect his Devastators into the Lord Commie. He does. He catches him in time. Fast Primaris Psyker. What on earth? So the Primaris Psyker, he did get that nerf. It's now a lot worse at dealing with moving targets. So you kind of have to CC the enemy, knock them over, and then hit them if you want to start hitting moving targets. But he can really punish setup teams, and that's probably why he's been purchased, given there are no spotters. Or he can punish units that are just trying to sit in green cover, because his ability, his passive attacks rather, not his ability, they do actually ignore cover. So I guess that's why he's got him, to deal with the devs. Will be good against attacks in tier 2, Stern Guard, that kind of thing. But, I mean, God, you should know he's really far ahead in tech. He's literally spent 0 power, for God's sake. Whereas Flo spent crazy amounts. Well, not crazy, but he certainly spent a fair bit. Terrifying visions coming out there, going to suppress the Devastators. Plasma guns opening up. Lord Commissar getting into melee. Honestly, kind of lucky for Flo to even get that damn Devastator out alive. FC probably wants to be tying up the Guardsman right now with the Plasma, not the Guardsman with the Flamers. Oh, this is nice. He's just delaying with the FC, sneaking his Tactical Marines in down the side. Really Funnyman2U should have seen this coming. He's going to take the node with the tax and then cap with the scouts, I guess. Nope, he's changing his mind. Flare really rather wasted there. I mean, what? They stopped shooting for 1 second. Who cares? Not a good use of red. And he is going to get his plasma guns eventually, but they're taking their time, and you can see the las guns not really doing too much here to the tacticals. Here come the plasmas. Bang! That did something. Instantly drops one of the tactical space marines. Man, plasma guns are so good. Finally, the first execute that we've seen. Execute on Flamer Guardsman. Trying to bash a little bit faster. Probably could do with some attack ground here from the Primaris Psyker. Another one in the nerfs to the Psyker was that he had his sight range reduced. For some reason his sight range was super high, which basically meant that his passive artillery attack range was... it didn't need any support. Now you actually need to have your Guardsmen out front seeing things, or infiltrated stormtroopers, something like that, to scout for you, or to spot for you. Otherwise, if you can predict where the enemy is and just attack ground. And this is crazy. Flo is actually the one who's going to be getting the vehicle out first here, going for a Razorback now, and that's going to be really effective. You haven't got a Sentinel, so it's... normally, I always say don't go for your vehicle as your first purchase against IG. Why? Well, the Sentinel alone is amazing against transports when it picks up the missile launcher. It's so fast. The high HP pool just basically means it can 1v1 them with a missile launcher. And then Cadetians can get their Sergeant, who has a melter gun. Really high damage melter gun. Also got nerfed recently, by the way. And then you also have AV, transitional AV on literally every IG hero. You've got the melter pistol on the Inquisitor, you've got the power fist on the LC, you've got the melter guns on the Lord General. But the funny thing is that right now, all those things don't apply. Well, there is the potential of a power claw on a Lord Commissar, that's why he goes for a Razorback and not a Dreadnought, right? Psyker has no transitional AV whatsoever. He is purely an anti-infantry kind of tool. And Guardsmen don't have any ranged upgrades either. We've got no Sentinel to threaten you, so the only problem really would be a heavy weapons team coming out with a las cannon. Well, there is also Melter Stormtroopers, but honestly, Melter Stormtroopers as SM, go tier 2 Assault Space Marines, and then you can deal with the Melter Stormtroopers quite well. You just constantly make sure that your Razorback is quite close to your ASM, and if it does get ambushed, drop the smoke on it so it lasts a bit longer from the melter guns, and then jump the stormtroopers with your ASM. Even if the stormtroopers manage to get a kill on the Razorback, this is an unupgraded Razorback, it's relatively cheap. These guys with their melters are not cheap, and more importantly, they bleed quite a lot. They're probably not going to be very effective in combat against the Space Marines, but we'll see. These tacks are in a bad spot here. Yeah, a lot of damage coming out right now. That's way too many guardsmen and triple plasmas. That hurts. Commissar on the Flamer Guardsman. I like that, because these guys are the shorter ranged ones, so they're going to be losing their models faster. Oh, he's done them on both anyway. Oh, this squad's only got the Commissar. Oh, cool. Yeah, it doesn't have the Sergeant on this one. So he should have seen the Stormtroopers there, Flo. Yeah, he has. So he's backing off the Razorback automatically. Nice. And yeah, you can see here now that the Psyker isn't really doing very good fire on the move damage. It's kind of struggling against the Scouts. Oh, gonna get gibbed. Gonna get killed. Oh, this is rough. That is rough. Razorback coming along for the assassination. This is looking very good for Flo right now. Stormtroopers revealed themselves and didn't get the kill on the Razorback, so now they've lost that surprise attack advantage and going to lose the Guardsman with the Commissar as well, potentially. Now that might be a more effective flare. Is that Commissar going to survive with 1 HP? No, he isn't. He is going to fall. Alright, I think we need to get some upgrades coming on the Commissar. Jesus, Flo is absolutely smashing him right now. What a beautiful grenade on those Guardsmen there, feeding lots of XP to the Space Marine forces. Level 3 Force Commander is in play. Razorback is already nearly level 2. Devastator's coming back out again, and things looking good for Flo. Flo going tier 3 right now. Flo is feeling confident. I mean, if we look at the VPs, Flo is up quite a lot actually. 377 to the 267 of Funnyman2U. Funnyman2U is only going for Ogrins. That feels kind of... That doesn't feel good, because Ogrins are going to probably end up bleeding. He's against a Force Commander. You can't go Ogrins. All he has to do is get a Thunderhammer. Oh, no energy for the Melter Bomb, but it's alright. Gets him with the rear armor. So you just pick up the Razorback. Tactical Marine's trying to hide in the husk, but not going to work, because Melter Guns actually ignore cover. So it would have protected them quite a bit from the Plasma, but not the Melter. So you're going to go for TFC, maybe? Terminator Force Commander? Could be useful. I'm not sure. Honestly, I think I'd just go for ranged Terminators and grab a Thunderhammer on my Force Commander to control these Ogrins. But TFC, actually, just go Terminator Force Commander. Go Terminator Force Commander with a heavy flamer, and you're absolutely going to just destroy everything. Ogrins are tanky, and you certainly won't hurt them with your Stormbolter or heavy flamer, but it doesn't really matter. They're not going to do a lot of damage to the FC. You just deal with all the infantry and deal with the Ogrins last. You can control the Ogrins with your devs. Swap these tacks to Plasma. Get a Predator tank out afterwards. Maybe not Predator. Not with these guys already on the field, I suppose. It's not really worth it. Just go for Termies. TFC with a heavy flamer plus ranged Terminators. Not really sure what's going to be able to beat that then. Just keep the ranged Terminators as your forward units, because they can trade so well with the Guardsmen. And then always have them moving around areas where they can do a soft retreat into the firing arc of the Devastators, so that the Ogrins can't just charge them down simply. Because if the Ogrins tie up ranged Terminators in melee whilst Plasma is firing in, then that would be a bad spot for the Terminators. But I think the Ogrins struggle to know whether to deal with the TFC or whether to deal with the Terminators. If it's melee Terminators, I think this is bad. Yeah, why? You don't need melee Terminators to deal with Ogrins. The melee Terminators are just not going to be able to output a lot of damage to the Guardsmen whatsoever. Melter Stormtroopers can help contribute with DPSing them down and kiting them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I think ranged Terminators would have been a lot more effective in this instance. But we'll see. I really don't know why he hasn't got the Thunderhammer. If he doesn't want Force Commander upgrades, that would have made too much sense. But nice little ambush there with the Melt Stormtroopers. Hey, even got a model on the devs. Probably going to go for the gens now? Or the VP. There's no gens, so they're going to go for the Power Node. Really? Double Ogrins? No, that can't be intentional, surely. Even with the Aura of Discipline, you've got no chance. They'll just pick up Lightning Claws and rip them to pieces. I don't know why Flo tried to rebuild the Power Node there. But it worked. And he even managed to get these Stormtroopers to commit for too long and lose 2 models. For God's sake. Jesus. That's a bit bizarre. Funnyman2U's got a lot of resources. What would I get if I was Funnyman2U? I don't know, he really needs to get a tank, but he's so far off that. Just keep focusing on these points and get the power node on them. He's still... Well, he's got the tack flavor to bash the power nodes quite fast, but that's all. Flo really should be saving up for TFC, I think. Is the more pertinent choice right now. Be very heavy impact. I think Aura of Discipline on the Commissar would be useful with the Ogrins, but meh. It's not really going to change things that much, especially when the Commissar himself doesn't have any weapon upgrades. I don't know why he's been running around with no war gear upgrades on the Commissar. It doesn't really make any sense playing triple Guardsman, no war gear on the Commissar. Very odd. These Stormtroopers are absolutely obsessed with the gens. Honestly, Funnyman2U's behind in VPs, I'd be focusing more on them. I mean, they do kill gens fast, melt Stormtroopers, but still. Power, not a huge concern, it is still relevant. So it is definitely going to be annoying Flo. Oh, he goes for the grenade, not the shotgun blast. Huh. I feel like the Stormtroopers probably could have stayed in play a bit longer there. I don't know, I guess the shotgun blast would have come next anyway. Obviously, Ogrins in the mid can't do anything against Terminators in melee, that would be ridiculous. And yeah, we got the TFC. Did he just use Battlecry? That's weird. So Funnyman2U takes the opportunity to get to tier 3. I guess he has to get a Lehman Russ. There's nothing else really that would do anything. Kaskin, they'd be nice, but they're not gonna solve all the problems. I don't think it's enough range DPS to help. Well, to deal with the Terminators on their own, I think you need to get a Executioner Cannon Lehman Russ out. But the problem is that Funnyman2U is already below 150 VPs. So the pressure's on. Pressure's on. Can he get it in time? Let's see. Whoops. Let's see where his power's at. Yeah, he needs a fair bit more, to be honest. He does have a full gen farm, so it should be trickling in at a decent rate. And once again, he's bashing. He's absolutely obsessed with bashing. He needs to go for the VPs now. So the good thing for Funnyman2U is that Flo seems to have lost a lot of units, and he's not that mobile. Terminator's not being able to retreat. Definitely slows down the rate at which he can sort of swap between each side of the map. Nice little flank there from the Stormtroopers. Gonna get rid of the devs. Comes back into the middle, kills an Ogryn and leaves. Probably would be a good idea to swap these Ogrins to Bulgarins afterwards. I just don't think the Ogrins are doing a whole lot right now. One of the primary advantages of Ogrins over Bulgarins for melee fights, and the reason why usually Ogrins actually do better than Bulgarins in melee fights, is the use your head ability from the Bonehead, leader of the Ogrin squad. Doing on-demand knockback twice in a melee fight is huge. But Terminators are immune to such melee knockback, so it's going to be completely ineffective against them. So you're better off just getting the minor increase in melee damage and HP that you get from having Bulgarins instead. But we'll see. For now, the priority has to be getting that Executioner Cannon Lehman Russ out. How far is he from getting it? He already can. Seems like he's saving up for a Baneblade variant, which is extremely risky. The amount of build time on that when he's on 132 VPs, super risky. Flo's forced off most of the forces down here. Gonna get his scouts onto the VP. Flo already has the central VP and the natural right now. Rotating the TFC with a heavy flamer. Oh, the heavy flamer, of course, made complete destruction on the natural gen farm here for Funnyman2U. This is memery from Funnyman2U to go for a super heavy tank at this point. And it's really unfortunate for him. He's literally down to 10 power income, his base income, because he's lost both of these contested power nodes. He doesn't even own the point. We can see here the immunity to knockback, even from just the TFC, never mind the Assault Terminator squad, just makes Evergrins completely worthless. And it's funny, because if you save the Use Your Red, like, Ogrins will beat Sluggers with their Slugger Knob. If you save the Use Your Red until you're in melee combat. So they're no slouches in melee, they're just really bad against things that are knockback immune. Yeah, going Bogrins now. But this is, like, what? Why? This is 30 power that you needed for a Baneblade. I guess he's realised, oh shit, there's no time. Because he's already below 80 VPs. Man, what on earth? He could have got these so long ago. Execution of Lehman into Bogrins was the obvious play. I think he just wanted the meme option, and then he realised, yeah, I don't have the VPs. By the time the Baneblade comes out, it's going to be over. But I think it's going to be over anyway at this point. Let's have a look at what this Heavy Flamer Cleansing Flame does to Bogrins. I feel like that's only hitting. It was only hitting those 3 models at the front. It does do pretty substantial damage, doesn't it? Even to those high HP, low model squads. Well, you know what? Honestly, the Assault Terminators with the Storm Shield and Thunderhammer is absolutely annihilated.
No respite, no mercy.
Just absolutely annihilated the roster of Funnyman2U there. Damn. I didn't expect it. I feel like Funnyman2U's response was just totally inadequate. It is a 0 cap game with Funnyman2U about to get the natural of Flo, ironically. Finally getting Lehman Russ out himself. But Flo's going to take the central VP. Just has to wait with his scouts. Then get the decap. If he gets the decap whilst having the cap, then that should basically be a win. Ooh. Goes for the rocket run to save the day, because that was literally going to be the end of the game right there. If those scouts got that cap. These guys could stay and play though, the Devastators aren't gone. Yeah. Nothing could cap the mid because of these dermies. But he's actually getting his natural. Okay, he's still in this, somehow. But the TFC's coming back out again, he's obviously going to go over and try and tango with those Bulgarins. And... wow, trying to pull out all the cards here. Funnyman2U literally used all of his red just to get the Commissar back over here. But Flo got the decap, so now he just needs to decap the other natural. Looks like the devs will force off the Lord Commissar, nothing coming to support them. Yeah, like I say, Funnyman2U is now out of red, so none of those shenanigans. He even loses the Commissar. None of those shenanigans available to him anymore. Look at the Heavy Flamer! The Heavy Flamer's going to melt those guardsmen. Yeah. Not good. Yeah, and then the TFC can deal with the guardsmen, the Bulgarins can be dealt with by the Terminators. Oh dear. Look at that. When do you see Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators do this well? Man, it's been a long time. No one's mad enough usually to fight them in melee. Oh dear. Kills 3 squads, 3 models of the Bulgarins there. And the TFC is going to be able to grab the point in the middle. The funny thing is, somehow he managed to take the VP over here. My god, how is this game not closing out? Flo just needs to get something on one of the other VPs. The attacks are going to the east. I don't think these guardsmen can cap with a TFC there. Surely not. Execution of Lehman Russ. Is this going to be a dead Terminator squad? Oh, causing more melee Terminators. What? Oh my god. Terrifying. He's going to keep the natural. Yeah, attack flamers even beat the guardsman over here. Again, weird positioning. Why aren't you here shooting? But I guess it doesn't matter. He needed to not win the trade, but actually stop the VP cap, and unfortunately those guardsmen couldn't do it. So there you go. Wow. Felt like that ending dragged out a crazy duration of time for what felt like it was Flo's win for quite a lot of time. Cool to see the TFC putting in work. That doesn't surprise me at all. Shocked to see the Terminator Assault Squad put in so much work. But really, Funnyman2U kind of threw by saving up for apparently like a Baneblade and then deciding at the last minute, when he needed about 40 power more, I'm going to spend 30 power on a Bullgrins. When it's like, you could have got a Lehman Russ out ages ago and the Bullgrins ages ago. But you were saving up presumably for a Baneblade. Whatever. Cool to see some IG and SM. I hope you appreciated that one, folks. That's going to be all from your boy Torpid. This time, I am signing out.